Right.
Still to come, we're going to get Helen in that week. Now, if Herol was one of the best boxers not to win a world title, then not only is Marvin Hagler one of the greatest world champions of all time, he was also involved in one of the greatest fights in boxing history.
And here he is talking about the great days of the 80s when he was slugging it out with Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard and Robert Duran for middleweight supremacy.
You must learn to adapt yourself inside the ring and how to carry yourself outside the ring as a gentleman or whatever. I think nothing I like to change. Only thing I like to change is I hope that they change the decision with the Leonard fight, because I still feel as though I won that fight. And but this is boxing, you know, and so I feel that as long as I know in my heart that I won the fight, hopefully one day I expect Leonard to come out and to speak. He went down after the fight, he collapsed, he was totally exhausted, and I could have won 3 more rounds. I was in terrific shape. From the old days, the old good time fighters, the Floyd Pattersons and the Muhammad Ali's and the Roberto Durans, all the great champions, all fought 15 rounds. This makes the difference between the boys and the men's, you know. And so to carry that extra 3 rounds, to me, I still feel it's much safer, because you get in better condition. You must be in better shape before you go to 15 rounds. 12 rounds, you fight 10 rounds to make good money, and you must be a 10-round fighter in order to get an opportunity to fight for, to be a contender. Now they change things much, you know. The boxing game is all the time changing. I still feel all these guys that I fought #1 contenders all the time, and I fought some of the best fighters in the world. And I feel as though that if I wasn't in tremendous shape and that I didn't learn my craft very good, and I didn't have good people like the Petronelli brothers, that any one of them guys could have been champion of the world. Good fight with Roberto Duran, because it was more of a technique fight. I had him, no, but there's no problem. I needed 30 more seconds, and I think I would have stopped Duran. I would have put him out. But after when I finished with Duran, this is why I think made a much easier test for Thomas Hearns, because after Thomas Hearns fought Duran in Las Vegas and stopped him 2 rounds, because Duran had no more in him. When I finished, all the fighters, they are no the same. Every time Leonard, since the fight with me, he's been knocked down every fight. Hearns has not been the same. I mean, Roberto Duran, look, I mean, it's only true factor. So I never really understood how much toll that I really take on these guys, but I take all the starch out of them when I finish. When I finish with you, you no more the same. This particular fight with Tommy Hearns, I would have to say one of the highlights of my career. And behind the fact, I give Tommy a lot of respect now after the fight, but before the fight, I didn't like him very much. And because, you know, we did a tour, we did 21 cities promoting the fight. And Tommy, very rude. He speak to me, what are you going to do to me? I'm going to knock your bald head all over the wall. You know, I mean, things like that. I says, good. That means you're going to show up. You're going to come to the fight. Good. But I give him a lot of credit, because he was a very a courageous type of fighter. He wanted to take my title, and I wanted to keep my title. And I knew that this was going to be a tough fight. I trained 2.5 months. You know, woman, early to bed, and early in the morning, running. I really sacrificed very hard for this fight. The referee, which I thought was very bad in this particular fight, because he kept pushing me away to give Tommy Hearns more time. This is no right. This is Richard Steele. This is no right. So it only made me more madder. Now I want to kill Tommy. And when Tommy moved away finally, he didn't know whether I was right-handed or lefty, because I switched very good, and he didn't know which side I was on. And I caught him with a good right hand on the right-handed side, and started started the motion going. And Tommy tried to run. Where you go? Crack. Yeah. Oh yeah, woof. And I so much, I feel so much inside, like a monster. You know, this is the way I fight. And I felt so much like a monster. And I want him to get up because I'm not finished with him because he talked so much prima for the fight. So I'm not finished. And I'm in good shape. Now Goody, my corner man, has stopped the blood. So now I don't worry about that. He picked me in the corner. Don't worry about your cut. You okay, Marvin? It's not serious because it's not over my eyes. It's in the middle of my forehead. Yeah. So the blood must come down here. I can still see Louis. I don't know what's all this commotion in the corner with the doctor. So now I know if they're playing this game, I must knock him out now. I have to knock him out. And that's just the way that it went. And when Tommy went down, I was happy. I was very happy. And then when I stood in the corner, I found myself like a monster. Because I felt for the first time, if this guy get up, the next time when I go back, when the bell, they let him go, I'm going to kill this guy. That's just the way it is in boxing.
Okay, there we go. Fascinating stuff from one of the greatest boxers ever to don a pair of gloves, Marvin Hagler. How would you rate him, Frank?
I think he was a great fighter, one of the best fighters I've seen. I mean, that fight with Thomas Hearns was unbelievable. That 9 minutes of pure hell it was. You know, I mean, I still watch his tapes now. Just a great fighter. Yeah, and you had a bit of a go at the Hitman, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I almost fought him. I could have fought, as light middle, I nearly fought Thomas Hearns, and as the middle, there was Hagler, and Hagler wouldn't fight a right-handed person. It was so close, because I'm a southpaw, I was so close to fight him. Not
story of your life, isn't it? People avoiding you all the time.
Sorry?
It's been the story of your life, people all the while avoiding you.
Yeah, definitely the story of my life. Yeah. So how good I am. Mr. Collins. Sorry.
But Steve will be on the phone any minute, I'm sure, saying, I'm not going to dodge him. I'll be on there.
360 there. Right, anyway, and I nearly fought him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would have beat him, but it would have been a close contest, definitely. The way I fight, anyway.
Right, you were right-handed. Okay, now if you want to put your calls to Herol and Frank, then phone us now, 0990 200 655, particularly if you're a world champion who wants to have a bit of a scrap. We're back after this short break.